So good afternoon, everyone. The President of the General Assembly strongly condemns a suicide attack in Afghanistan that killed dozens of innocent lives and left at least 70 people injured earlier today. The blast took place during the Friday prayers in a mosque in the city of Kandahar. Mr. Abdulla Shahid expresses his profound condolences to the families of the victims and wishes a speedy recovery to all of those who were injured in the explosions. And on a personal note, Mr. Abdulla Shahid is deeply shocked and saddened with the news on the untimely passing of his friend, Sir David Amess, who was stabbed to death earlier today in the United Kingdom. Mr. Amess, a member of the UK Parliament, died after being stabbed multiple times during a meeting with constituents in a church in Essex, England. Mr. Shahid condemned the cowardly attack. He said that Mr. Amess was not only a dear friend, but also a great leader, an able politician, and a great champion for multilateralism. Mr. Shahid sends his deepest condolences to the Amess family and to all his friends who are mourning his loss today. The PGA started his day at 8:30 a.m. today for the first Holwash Dialogues, a monthly informal discussion with permanent representatives to the United Nations. The theme this time was climate change and humanitarian situations. In his Twitter account, the PGA said that revitalizing the UN calls for regular consultations with member states. These meetings here in New York will be held under Chatham House rules, and in the interest of transparency, an informal summary will be shared with all member states. The JA President has issued a video message on the International Day of Rural Women. Mr. Shahid highlights that in low-income economies, 64% of rural women work in the agriculture sector, with only 15% having access to land rights, a gap that increases income insecurities and aggravates the disparity in decision-making. The PGA says that the International Day for Rural Women, with the theme Rural Women Cultivating Good Food for All, is also a reminder to accelerate actions for change, to break down the societal barriers that continue to deprive rural women their right to participate in political and communal affairs and the ability to break through glass ceilings. Tomorrow, we will mark World Food Day. This year's theme is Our Actions Are Our Future: better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. Mr. Abdulla Shahid says that this year's theme resonates deeply with the message he has been emphasizing throughout his presidency of hope during his super session on the environment, featuring high-level meetings on biodiversity, climate change, and desertification, as well as the second United Nations Conference on the Oceans in Portugal. The PGA invites all stakeholders to accelerate actions to transform our food systems in an environmentally sustainable manner. He highlights that the world remains off track to achieve zero hunger targets by 2030. And finally, on the PGA's agenda, this morning, he received at his office the rector of the University of Peace, Mr. Francisco Rojas. He also held separate bilateral meetings with the permanent representative of China to the UN, His Excellency Mr. Zhang Jun, the special rapporteur, Ms. Fionnuala Ni Ayolan, and the chairs of the GA main committees. This afternoon, the PGA will address the 6th committee and later meet the ambassador of Bulgaria. And this is everything we have for today. I have Ray and I have Edie. Ray, go ahead.
Thank you, Monica. I think on October 26th, there will be a high-level meeting about delivering climate action for people, planet, and prosperity. I just want to know when the guest list or guest of speaker will be available. Thank you.
Yes, we are working on this right now, and a substantial amount of information is already on the website. And as soon as we have the guest list, I will send it to all of you. Okay? Thank you. Edie, go ahead.
Two quick questions.
Sure.
How did the President of the General Assembly meet Mr. Amess?
Sure.
And because they are from countries that are quite far apart. And secondly, Did you get any update on the meeting of the Credentials Committee and the chairmanship?
Okay, thank you for your question. I will start with the second question. There is no update. What we said yesterday remains. We expect the meeting to be held in November, but of course this is a decision that the Credentials Committee, the 9 members, will of course take. On your first question, Edith, they were friends. They met in 2005. Sir David was until his untimely passing this morning, the chair of a British Maldives all-party parliamentary group. And he was a founding member of this group, and that's how the both leaders met. So, anyone on the screen? No? So, I wish you all the best. I see you on Monday. Thank you very much. Thank you.